Welcome to Vintage Gaming Memories. Shall we play a game?
Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Well, it was a really nice sunny day on Friday, September 12th, so I decided to take a drive to Schaumburg, Illinois. And why would I do that, you might ask? Well, that's where the Vintage Computer Festival Midwest number 20 was held, or otherwise known as VCF Midwest 20. To be more exact, it was again held in the Schaumburg Convention Center, which is located in Schaumburg, Illinois. Now, I did a video last year on VCF Midwest number 19, so I was looking forward to seeing what other cool things I could find this time around, as well as maybe revisiting an offer I made last year on a one-of-a-kind item. More on that later in the video. Like I said, I arrived on Friday, which was a day prior to the event, so I decided to check into the hotel first, settle in a bit, and then I came down the elevator to take a walk towards the convention center. One of the perks with staying at that Marriott Renaissance Hotel is that it's connected to the convention center. So I figured, why not get a quick look at how everything's going with the exhibitors setting up their tables. And as you can see here, this hallway is pretty empty now, but the next couple of days it got pretty crowded. That is the informational whiteboard, and that will get filled up in the coming day. And the first table you see there is for the shirts to purchase. And because it was a day before the event, there was no line, so I ended up getting the t-shirt and the tote for this year's event, which looked pretty cool. As you see, I'm walking the outer sides of the center, and a lot of the tables are still getting their items in from the dock and from their automobiles. So you'll see a lot of empty tables and covers over the tables. You can definitely see how massive this convention center is. Thankfully, the ventilation is good, or else it would have been pretty nasty with the warm weather we had that weekend and all the people going elbow to elbow. I should have mentioned this earlier. This entire video was done with my new Insta360 Go S or 3S camera. I think that's the name of it. Anyways, it's a ridiculously small 2-inch camera that produces 4K quality video. It's pretty cool looking. For this event, I used this easy clip accessory and I had it attached to my baseball cap, so it gives you a point of view perspective. But the only problem is this was the first time I ever used this camera and with that accessory. So hopefully I'll get better in time, but I apologize in advance for the quick turns of my head as I'm looking around. Now this is pretty interesting. This is a retro bunk bed setup. And no, I did not go in there to take photos, but I saw some kids doing that with their parents. It was pretty cool. Now some folks dressed for their tables, like that telephone man, which was from Shadytel Midwest Central Office. They had a really nice telco exhibit and demo. That UK looking table, that was a nice setup of microcomputers that were used at home and at school back in the UK during the 80s. And yeah, a lot of empty tables still, but About 18 hours later, it was a whole different story. So I wonder who has this Teknika MJ22 monitor sitting in their workshop now. Yep, I couldn't resist it. It was only for a C-note, and how could you pass that up? It's really in good condition, and I was able to get it tested there, so I knew it worked. Check out the back here. It's got some nice options of RGB or composite. I'll probably make a video on this one to show you what I'll do with it. But anyways, back to VCF Midwest. All right, now let's go and jump to the next day, Saturday, September 13th. You can already hear the hallways rumbling with conversations. That was different from the previous day. And that line you see in the distance, that's not to get into the exhibition hall. That line is to purchase the t-shirts or totes and other memorabilia for VCF Midwest 20. All right, I'm gonna get my lanyard now, and I'll just walk on by these folks to get in. Just walking by the Forgotten Machines table, and as noted on the VCF website, this exhibitor investigates, reverse engineers, and restores computers and systems that almost nobody else knows about. That's pretty intriguing. Now these tables were the bonus life computer folks. They had 5 table sections reserved. There was a lot of stuff there. They had a variety of items for Atari, Commodore, TRS-80, Apple, and others. I think it's always good to see that these kids are interested in technology from our past. Never forget our beginnings. Here is a Zombie Revenge arcade cabinet, not a game that I'm familiar with. Now check this out. This is the free pile table. So this is where you take something, but you leave something behind, or at least that's what's recommended. Now this is pretty nice. This is Aaron Collins' miscellaneous 70s through 90s audio-visual stuff. Check this out. Right next to that concession stand, they have this really interesting setup of vintage televisions playing in black and white and some color. And you can see there's Looney Tunes with Bugs Bunny and Elmer Fudd. And then the Bozo Show on WGN. Pretty cool memories from the past. Now this was a pretty cool looking table. It's the Osborne Computer Group, where of course they have the rare Osborne computers shown. In this back corner, just like the previous year, they have some folks standing in line to meet and greet with some YouTubers like Adrian Black from Adrian's Digital Basement. We have the 8-Bit Guy. LGR. And over here on the corner is the Stop Bits, which is the musical collaboration of YouTubers such as Veronica from Veronica Explains, Taylor and Amy from the Taylor and Amy Show, and Sean from Action Retro. These tables are Scott Barrett's Mac Lab. It's a nice representation of the Macintosh. And here is the Atari BBS Gurus table. Some really good stuff here. And this is a great section. It's the Build-a-Blinkie Learn to Solder Workshop. I really love what they do. Now, I learned from my father on how to solder just by watching him. And now as a dad myself, my 12-year-old gets a front row seat with learning how to solder and all about electronics from the channel.
So I'm very happy, and they didn't even recognize it. Like, oh, it's fine. And then they're like, who does it buy? I'm like, that's kept.
I'm still perplexed by this. I have zero clue how this monitor was working when it wasn't even plugged in. This is a great display. I believe this was here last year too. Just can't get enough of Radio Shack. And here I am at the Midwest Classic Video Game Museum table, which has one of my favorite display items, the Androbot TOPO robots. So here's the story. Last year at this table, I was really interested in the TOPO robot because of its history, its rarity, and its ties to Atari. So before I threw out an offer, and yes, I did make an offer, I did my research and I knew of somewhat recent sales. I knew of one that was being sold from Australia about 11 years ago, and was asking for around $2,500. And then the late great Kurt Vendel actually was selling his special edition one for $2,500 about 12 years ago. And then a more recent sale was in the late 2017, and it was being sold for $4,000 or best offer. With that in mind, I made a couple offers last year, going as high as more than twice of what was being asked from Kurt's special edition one. $6,000?
Don't think so.
Yeah. Needless to say, no sale. Well, it's a new year, and I figured let's try again.
Let's go.
Hey, did we talk last year?
I think so. You look familiar.
I made an offer.
Yeah. Your vintage gaming memories.
Yeah. So to be respectful of our conversation, I muted it out, and this is what happened. So I found out more about the father and son that owns these. They're great people from what I can tell. And I threw out my best offer, which was a lot more than last year's. And
Nothing for you. Come back 1 year.
but that's okay. I totally respect that because I have some items that I probably hold pretty close to my heart, and it would take a really crazy offer for me to release them. And by the way, that offer I made was not really crazy, but it definitely was very generous, I think. And after I made that offer, did some more research, and I think I can get my hands on one for a little bit less than what I offered. But if anyone else has a TOPO with original parts still in working condition, hit me up. I have to definitely refine my approach on these expos because holding a camera just isn't the greatest. And this point of view camera is great for hands-free, but I have to be aware of my rapid movements with my head as I'm looking everywhere. And of course, the zooming of it afterwards and editing may not be the best. But hopefully this gives you all a little flavor of what was shown in this year's VCF Midwest number 20 as far as the exhibition hall goes. Now there were breakout sessions, which I did attend a couple of them, but they were jam-packed, so probably best to get a seat quickly next time. Overall, I think this was a great gathering of vintage computer hobbyists and those who are just inquisitive with regards to vintage computers. I'll definitely be back next year. Comment down below and let me know if you got a chance to see this in person and what you liked or disliked, if any. But until next time, remember, keep your gaming passion from the past alive by living it today. Take care, everyone.